Coach, with a couple days of practice, what was the focus today? What were you trying to get for your group as you get ready for Cleveland?
Well, just getting the rust off. After having a couple days of detailing the work with kind of more walkthroughs and complete detail and execution. Now funnel it down to get the rust off, being able to play, get up and down a little bit. That was more the purpose of today's practice.
How was the team doing after the second practice health-wise?
Good. Everybody's healthy. We're in a good space.
Was there more energy in today's practice than yesterday?
There's a lot of energy in today's practice, but there was a lot of intensity too because we were able to compete and go after it a little bit. So it's guys are chomping at the bit to be able to get in that first game.
You mentioned rust. With the time off, just moving, is that enough to get it off?
No. You have to get up and down and play. I think it's a lot of times you can sit in a film room, look at it, on film and see exactly what you would do and change and adjustments and the way you played. But you have to get on the floor and go through a real time in order to get up and down a little bit.
Coach, yesterday the Cavs head coach was talking about your relationship with him. What is that relationship like, and how is that going to be with this series coming up?
I mean, we've been friends for years. He's one of my closest friends, and so part of us being good friends, off the court, we've always leaned on each other for different things. But we also know and respect the craft that we're both in, and it's going to be about putting our teams in the best position to be successful. It's competition at the end of the day, and that's the way in which we view it, and we both understand and know that.
You guys agreed to not talk for the next few weeks during this series. Whose idea was that? Was that yours or his?
That's always been the thing when we play anybody through the playoff series. There's no high lines of communication.
These two teams are both top 10 defensive teams in the regular season. You now have this much time to kind of really dig into their defense, not beat them. They are going to have time to dig into your defense. I know you're very much about we got to be who we are, but what does that time bring as far as figuring out a way to defend at a high level still, but also attack at a high level?
It's all those things. Our offensive coordinator's done a great job of putting us in position, knowing what they're going to do, and then defensively also how to stop certain guys. And this is what brings out the best in certain players in the playoffs. When you're able to be tightened up in what you're doing, they're honing in on everything you do, and you're still capable and able to do it. That's what brings out the best in teams and as well as certain players.
How do you express that challenge? There's just, so much detail involved. How do you express that to a roster that hasn't really had to play at this level of detail before?
As much as you can, you have them feel it through the practices, through the film sessions, through the experience of guys like Joe and Gary. They have to understand it from that side, but there's no substitute for going through it. You have to go into that first game, and then you'll understand exactly what it means and what it feels like. And then from there, that's when the adjustments are made. That's when the communication kicks up even more. So them being able to go through it is the most important piece right now.
How important is to get that first game in Cleveland, considering that a lot of these players it's the first time that they're in the playoffs?
Again, for us, we've been in so many of these tight, close games, physical battles, game planning things where the details are so important. Us just being able to get there and play that first game is going to be so important, so these guys understand exactly what's necessary, to come out and put yourself in a position to be successful.
Coach, in your opinion, what's the biggest difference in terms of a regular season game and a playoff game for you specifically?
For me, it's just constantly recognizing and reading the game as it goes on. It's that chess game that you feel in the moments. Substitution patterns, whether they're calling fouls or not calling fouls, the way they're playing different actions. Just being able to recognize that at a faster pace.
Is it chess and checkers between the regular season and the playoffs?
Yes.
How invaluable is the experience of Joe and Gary at this time? I know you talked about it during the regular season, but now in the playoffs.
Right now it's huge. We had a film session. Those guys were communicating a lot to what these guys are going to see. Then when we got into practice, they were able to say, okay, this is what it's going to be like, this is what it's going to feel like. I think it's so valuable when you have players that have been through that experience to be able to lean on, as well as to communicate to the other younger guys of what they're going to see. But I always try to keep reminding them that, and we've said this as a staff, that we just have to continue to be more of us and do the things that travel and do the things that are we've done well all year.
And kind of to that point, as you continue to game plan, watching the film from the regular season, what do you maybe pinpoint as the key differences between the games you want to get to the Cavs and the games you lost to? I'm just being us.
No, I'm giving you a hard time because you're trying to throw my game plan out there a little bit. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. But no, it's our attention to detail in a lot of areas, understanding personnel, how they're getting certain shots off, how they defended us in certain actions. Just being able to recognize those faster without me having to say it, our guys being able to recognize it real time.
How vocal is Jonathan Isaac with the team? How important is what he says to the teammates, considering that he's been in the playoffs with the team before and all the struggles he's been through? How inspiration do you think for the team?
Jonathan has been fantastic. Obviously, you see what he's capable of doing, both offensively and defensively. His having the playoff experience as well has been great as well. But a lot of things he does is by example, and when we're getting into practice, communicating with guys both offensively or defensively, what he sees, where he is on the floor, covering up for guys. I think it's going to be so valuable for us as we continue to go forward.
How important are Gary and Joe in this series as three-point shooters and defenders on the perimeter?
Very important.
Coach, Paolo over the course of the season saw so many different types of coverages when Frank was out. He saw triple coverages at times. Going through that, how much does that help him in a playoff series where teams are always trying to take away the other team's best player?
Well, we always say, how do you gain experience? And you gain experiences by going through certain situations and then being able to reflect back on the situation and learn and take what you can from it. And he's done that. He's seen double teams, he's seen darn near triple teams, he's seen teams doubling from the baseline, he's seen switches, he's seen a lot of that. So his ability to recognize what's going on, and he does a great job processing that. So I think it's continued growth for him and gaining that experience that will be so helpful in this series. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
You have no idea how a season's going to go. But for it to turn out the way it did, where this team's in the playoffs, the fifth seed, just how much extra special does it make it, and how much does it validate your decision to join this club?
Yeah, I think I said it before. I think the validation is more from my family and Jacob and all that side of it. And this is almost like a bonus kind of thing, honestly. Obviously, I'm well aware of my job and what I've got to do, and this is a big part of it. But to just have that kind of, I guess, like the whole package of everything to work out the way it has, and Ed, someone's about to get hit. I think from when I came here, speaking to Coach early on in the year, I think we knew what our team could do or what we could potentially, if we were able to kind of do what we talked about. But then to put that into from words to action and go through 82 games and obviously have some ups and downs and have the 9-game streak and have some 4 of the last 5 losing them to, I think we needed to win 1 game or whatever it was. So that's the fun part of the season. That's the fun part of what we get to do. And like you said, it's for me the total package of all of this now is it's fun to be here. Done.
You've been through the playoff ringer before. How is this team how focused or how ready do you feel like this team is for what's coming out there? Can you for your first playoff game, can you not be ready until you see it?
Yeah, I think it's obviously guys have watched the play, and I think even the last kind of chunk of the year was every referee I asked said they weren't refereeing it different, but I think there was some more physicality was getting let, and obviously the playing games, if anyone watched, you can see the physicality of what's getting let go, and I think that's the biggest part. There's so many little offensive defense systems and all that you have to know and be locked in on, but just the physicality, and then obviously what we're trying to look for as a team on both ends of the floor. So we've had a week or whatever it is by the time we play, and I've got no doubt we'll be ready. I think with a younger group too, the excitement, the nerves, I think that's a good thing. I think you come out, and like I said, I think the guys we've had, everyone's played in big games at some point in their career, whether it's college, high school, for our countries. We're looking forward to it. Sick of practicing, to be honest.
What's your relationship with Donovan Mitchell?
I hate him.
Obviously, you're teammates with him. What juice does he bring to the playoffs, and how much of a challenge will he be?
Yeah, I guess I've been lucky in a way to battle with him in a lot of series. Hell of a player. I think from when we first got him, and he would agree, kind of not knowing what we were getting. We lost Gordon that year, and it was kind of figuring out what we were doing, and what he brought and how quickly he continued to get better was the reason we were the team we were. So it'll be fun. Obviously, still have a great relationship with him that'll be put on hold for a couple of weeks, but just I've loved obviously seeing his growth, and Jalen, Gary, like all the matchups we've got, it'll be a challenge. He can put points on the board. He can get his teammates involved. So it'll be a hell of a task. But like I said, I think the group's ready for it.
When you're in kind of a playoff series, like players like Donovan, similar to a player like Howard, they have to be like that set defense. They have to be able to beat a team that knows exactly what's coming.
Yeah.
What's the challenge? What's the challenge of trying to beat a team like that, or have it go up against a team that knows exactly what you're doing as you go in the playoffs?
I mean, like I said, to be able to have the week and go through, and I think we played them four times this year. So we both kind of somewhat know what here and there. Obviously, I'm sure they'll do some stuff different. We'll do some stuff. There's things you look at in the film that work, the things that didn't work. And obviously, like you said, like Paolo, Franz, Donovan, Garland, these guys are the head of what they do, and then obviously what we do. And I think just knowing what he can get, what both of them can get, when they can get it, taking advantage of the situations when we can, and manipulating the time that we can. It's like one of our it's like a chess game. They make a move, we've got to counter. We make a move, they got to counter, and it's fun. It's why we play. It's the fun part of the season. So
is that kind of like chess match, that kind of like detail-oriented stuff? Is that what makes the playoffs the playoffs?
I think so. Yeah, I think like obviously you're playing at least 4 games. For us, that'll be at least 8 games against them by the time we finished. And a lot of the NBA, like a lot of the offense is similar, a lot of the defense is pretty similar, and this is obviously where you can kind of dive into it a bit deeper and find the numbers and the video of what really worked and what didn't, and they're the things we've got to obviously lock in on and be really good at. And if you're not, then you go home.
Thanks, Joe.
Jay, after a win like you guys had on Sunday, where you played a significant role, your team went to the playoff berth, did you take a moment to reflect on how far this organization has come, how far you've come, and have that type of success?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I've been reflecting all season, like throughout the ups and downs of the year. Our resiliency, to be such a young team and have guys step up night in and night out. We had our growing pains, and I feel like we're in a position to make a run here. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God. I know this team is grateful to just be in the position that we're in right now. Keep moving forward.
Joe, talk about the guys and how they helped this show you guys have all been. What motivates him to be the good team that he's been for you guys as of late? What has he done to be helpful for the team?
That's just who Joe is. He's just he's hilarious. That helps a lot. He tells it like it is, but he cares. And so to have an older guy like that, doesn't play as much as he wants to, I'm sure, but he's around, he's vocal, and he pulls guys together. So that makes him a great teammate.
Are you praising this team's maturity after the regular season to be able to handle that moment and execute? I guess now coming into this league, what makes you confident that the team is ready to handle this next big moment?
Well, just that, to drop the games that we did before Milwaukee and to walk into it saying this is a do-or-die game and to play the way that we did speaks to our ability to rise to the occasion and be ready for a big moment like that. And so I have no doubt that it'll be the same scenario, with Cleveland. No matter how it goes, no matter how it starts, we'll be ready to respond no matter what happens, and I know that we'll be ready to rock game 1.
How different is this team from the last team that went to the playoffs 4 years ago? You were part of that team. How different is it now? How these other players are?
It's totally different. It's hard to put it together. It's just a different energy, a younger group. I think there's definitely a true belief, factor that's with these guys that, kind of a no quit. We'll play as hard as we have to get whatever we need to get done. I think that's there, and it speaks to why we are in the position that we're in.
How vocal are you with the team, considering how you've been an inspiration when you're ups and downs, and still when the team needs you more, you're there for the team?
Yeah, I just try to be the best teammate and player that I can be, play as hard as I possibly can play, and be there for guys off the court and on the court.
You experienced it a little bit 4 years ago, going through the playoffs for the first time, but how much more detailed does the defense have to be? How much more detailed does everything have to be in preparation for a series like this?
In comparison to regular season?
The regular season,
yeah. It's too. Coach says it a lot. It's nothing different, but it is, and we have to take our energy level to another level, take our focus and just focus on the details. You can't have breakdowns, you can't have mistakes. They will happen. How we respond to them, how we respond to the physicality of the game, the refs, all that stuff is going to be important. So it's completely different, but it's the same thing as basketball, and we'll be ready to play.
You're all competitors. You want to play. How hard is it to wait?
To wait until the game?
Yeah.
Well, I think this time is really important. Obviously, we want to play, we want to get out there, but the rest factor, getting locked in, detailed work with the guys is super important, and we were able to get up and down a little bit today, and it's good.
You've been through a lot with the injuries and setbacks. How has that struggle kind of benefited you that you see now?
I just think it's made me more of a complete person, just in general, and player as well. Like I truly, when I step on the floor, I truly see it as a blessing to be out there. I don't take it for granted, so I want to play as hard as I can possibly play. And then just it's about honoring and glorifying God for me. I know that people who deal with certain things, they put their trust in a lot of different things. Me, this entire process, I put my trust in God, and to be back where I am right now, playing, contributing, I just give Him the glory.
Jonathan, this is the most basketball you've played in a couple of years. After the regular season and everything you've gone through, how are you feeling physically and for the playoffs?
I feel fantastic. I feel the best I've felt since I've been back.
There's a lot of different ways you guys can, have a mentality for this series. We talk about one game at a time and these 5-game stretches towards the end of the season. There's also a common conception that teams will, when they go on the road, they want to get a split. What do you think your mentality is as a team going into this 2-game set in Cleveland?
We want to win. We want to win. We don't want to split. We don't want to give them a game. We want to win.
You've always taken pride in your defense.
Say again?
You've always taken pride in your defense. To be able to go play like a guy like Joel Embiid at the 5, where you didn't have much experience at that position starting at the season, to then the next night going and covering Bobby Portis and Damian Lillard on different possessions. How much pride do you take in that versatility and your ability to flash that this season?
Yeah, I just try to do my job, and so it's like when I'm out there, no matter who they put me on, no matter who they want me to cover, my job is to make it as difficult as possible. I've had to guard really great players this season, and sometimes they score, sometimes they don't. And when they do score, I tip my hat, and they got to do it again on the next possession. And so that's my mindset. I want to be an anchor for this team defensively. Been knocking down my shots lately, so I'm excited about that, and just keep moving forward.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Jalen, you're a player that's always risen to the occasion in big moments. You've always embraced them. How much are you ready to embrace the challenge of your first playoff series of your career?
Very much so. It feels fun to play for something at the end of the year again. It's been a while. We've worked for this moment. We've earned this moment. So I think a big thing, and Coach said it, not changing much. Not trying to look at it as something too different. Just continue doing what we're doing, just on a bigger stage now. With more eyes, and so that's my mindset. That's my approach to it. But I'm excited. I think it's right on time. Everything works at God's speed. He prepared us. Prepared me specifically the past, 2 years. Through trials, through basketball, things in life. All of that. We've all taken our time and to grow, get better. To position ourselves. To be ready. For this moment. When God has us here. So I think it's perfect. Our timing's working out perfect. We're young. It means that we enjoy it more. We appreciate it more. And it just sets us up, for long careers and all that we have left in our, in our NBA future. So, I think we're all excited. We're all approaching it with a great mindset, and can't wait to get to work.
Coach talked yesterday about needing to be yourself. As much detail and complications that might be in playoffs, you still need to be yourself. How's that kind of manifesting itself through these early days of practice as you kind of dig into some of the details of what Cleveland does and preparing for the playoffs?
I think by not doing anything different. I think we're just amplifying and being more detailed on the things that we've already been doing. Our coverages, our communication, offensively, our execution, things we want to look for, matchups we want to get. So I don't think anything we're doing is different. It's just way more detailed, and I think that's exactly how it should be.
How much of your Final Four experience did you draw upon in these last do-or-die games, and how do you think it could translate to what's ahead?
I think I took just taking things from my entire basketball career, and playing at high level and playing on championship Sundays and just things like that. All that comes into play, all that knowledge and all those memories and feelings all come back. So, it's been a while since a lot of us here have played meaningful basketball at the end of a season. So I think we're all looking at this as a real fun opportunity, something that we're all ready to take full advantage of and just kind of get to it. I feel like it's been a long time coming. We've been kind of preparing and waiting for this moment, for 3 weeks, 4 weeks now, and finally be here is fun.
You're all competitors. You want to play. How hard is it to wait just to start? Get out 6 days off.
It's tough. I ain't gonna lie. It's been the longest, about week and a half of the season, to be honest. But it's good for us. It's taking time. Everybody gets to get their body right. Get back healthy. We get, like I said, we get to detail more of our work. Get ourselves not only in the mindset and physically, but mentally, to get ready to play a series. Not going to play a team once, not twice, but we're going to see this team for the next week and a half. So, really excited for that.
How talked yesterday about this game's comfortability with the Cavs after playing the preseason, playing them 4 times during the season, that being an advantage. In your opinion, how helpful is it to be able to game plan against a team that you have so much experience with?
It was very helpful. I mean, we've seen them, we felt them. We got to have real in-game experience, good preparation days. So all of that comes into play. So it's cool because you don't see anything new. Those are familiar faces, familiar bodies in a familiar arena. So nothing's too different. It's just on us now. How detailed, how locked in and focused we're going to be possession by possession. And I think that's all it comes down to. So I think the good part about it is it's nothing that they're going to do that we have to prepare for. It's all about how we're going to handle the moment.
Can you say in Spanish how excited are you for your first time to play out in the NBA? Puede ser en español.
Estoy muy listo. Estábamos esperando por ese momento por un tiempo y para estar aquí por fin es muy divertido.
How important will it be to recognize and pick up Donovan and Darius early and defensively?
Just understanding they're the heads of the snakes. They're the two that are going to have the ball in the hands, majority of the games. Understanding they have great pieces around them. They have players with great abilities. But those are the two. They go as far as they go. So I think it's a great challenge, an amazing moment. Me and G have talked about it a ton. Just about how great of an opportunity this is for both of us. To prove ourselves. We talk so much about being a great defensive backcourt, being a great defensive team in general, and I don't think there's any better test to come out in the first round than to get a squad like this. So very excited. I think these are moments that as a competitor you absolutely want to be in. These are ones you want to play in, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
How valuable has Joe been in helping you prepare to defend Donovan Mitchell? He's been teammates with him for a while.
Grandpa's helped us out all year in every aspect, and helping us grow up and helping us, understand the seriousness of each moment, and yet how to still have fun and enjoy, being here as a young team. Because he was there as a young team in Utah, and getting into playoffs and continuing to build off those experiences. So, he shared a lot of knowledge, not only on that, but just playoffs in general. Different details that we need to lock in on, and it's been great to have him here.
Jalen, it's hard to win on the road, but especially in the playoffs. What will it take for you guys to have success?
Same thing we've been doing all year. Like I said, it's you're coming in and you try to change your mindset, you change a ton of different things and approach it in a different manner. Then it becomes unfamiliar. Then it becomes something different. It's basketball. All the different factors are all outside expectations. They all come from outside sources. In this building, we have the same belief, same thought process, and going through the same routine as we have been all year. So nothing changes. Feels like we're just getting ready to go play basketball again, go travel with the team, with the squad, which we enjoy doing, and get to go get some road kills. So just very excited.
Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you.